what the heck. I'll start off with Factorio. Decisions are hard.
You could always just put all the things into a hat and then draw them out.
Nah. I'll play some Factorio for a little while. If I start to get a little loopy from conveyor belts and such, then I'll take a break and move to a different game.
Okay.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Just realized I didn't have my mic muted just a few minutes ago. So if anybody's watching, you probably heard a little bit of pre-stream inside baseball. Anyway, have to remember to mute the mic and not the desktop audio when I'm trying to do stuff like that. So, we are back for day 2 of Extra Life. I did about 15 hours of streaming yesterday. Going to jump in and do another 9 to 10 hours today. Get up to the 24 or 25 hours for the marathon, depending on exactly how you count it, since last night was the end of daylight savings time. Just going to do a couple of quick audio checks here, just to make sure that we are actually live and everything's working okay. All right, and here we are back in Factorio. Sounds like we have audio on the stream. Let's make sure we have game audio as well as we load up the Lazy Blob Turd Run. Here we go. All right, I think when I left off last night, I was starting to set up a more extensive green circuit array down south here. So I think I'll continue with that, and then after that I'm going to set up plastic and set up red circuits, because then we'll have most of what we need to start pushing for robots, and robots are really what I want to get going here. It'll make life so much easier for the remainder of this run to have construction robots that can fly around and build stuff for me. All right, so let's see. I'd set up something down here. Yeah, here we go. I had set up looks like we're all backed up on our little sorting line here now, probably because we're not actually using our iron, and so I'm betting it's all backed up on iron at the moment. We're probably getting no copper down this line at all. Yeah, that's the case. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get some more copper running along here. Oh, we got some more research done. Let's get... We don't really need lasers at all, I don't think. We can use them to get tanks and cluster grenades. Follower robot count, but none of those really matter. We use it to get atomic bombs. Those are fun, but I don't really want to use nukes for clearing trees. As fun as that can be, I feel like grenades are about as far as I need to go with the forestry with extreme prejudice. So let's, I have some miners here in my inventory. So, oops. So I'm going to set up some more copper mining over here, and then I'm going to run it out beside the other copper. The mix line, I mean, and then we can actually get the copper up and running. That up against there, that can go right there, that can go right, oh wait, no, oh no. We don't want that at all, actually. That is not how we want it to be. Nope. This is... I did a really poor... Oh, okay. All right, so here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to actually have this line also being sorted. That was not how I had intended this all to work. Nuking the trees sounds totally reasonable. Yes, well, I mean, you know, you have to scale the approach to the degree of the problem, and clearly trees are a problem that requires nukes. This is a fundamental fact of Factorio. It's a factory. Oh, never mind. That doesn't work. All right. So here we go. We've got some more of that. All right. So this line here, we're gonna have a line that it also gets sorted here because I didn't really put my miners close enough to the break between these things. So we're gonna have to run this along. This is going to be a mostly copper line, but it's still going to need to be sorted. So I'm going to set up a second little sorting station for this line, and then we'll join the. All right, we'll join this with the other lines from the sorting. So I'm going to do a little loopity loop right here. Do, 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 do. Get a light going here too. It's getting a little dark. Get a light right there. Maybe toss another one right down in this corner here. Toss another one over here. There we go. Now we can see a little better. All right. So this line is going to be mostly copper, but we are going to end up with a little bit of iron on it because I did a kind of a poor job in actually setting this up the way that I had intended it to be. But that's okay. Everybody makes mistakes, and I make lots of them in Factorio. All right. Let's actually go around this patch because we may want to mine out some of this iron and or uranium later. Oh, we've got another. Should we get explosives? Again, we don't need most of this tech. Oh yes, but we do need explosives to eventually launch a rocket. So yeah, we need to. Or flammables, not explosives. Yeah, we need flammables to launch a rocket, so that is a necessary. Now, I ran my power lines along the north here, so I'm going to have to actually jump this line and run this line to the south. And as I said, this is going to be mostly copper. Little bit of iron on this line probably. We'll put it through a sorting and then we'll call the sorting hat, see what it can do with it, see if we have any Gryffindor, get it, or that's sorted into Gryffindor. Anyway. So we'll come right on over here, and then we'll set up our little setup right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oops, 5, 6, and here on the other. It's a very hairy pun. Yeah, it was a little hairy. It was a little hairy. All right. So we'll go this way and this way, and we're going to say. These guys up here are going to be... Is it not working? Hello? Did I... Oh, I was trying to copy it to the chest. Silly me. Alright. And then this... We've done that one. What do we need? Let's get landfill. We might want landfill at some point. I mean, first we need to find more water. This map seems pretty devoid of water. Although there's water down to the south here now. Now I can see... now that we have radars in place, we're starting to clear away some space. Actually, this is really handy for doing our plastic up here. It'll be easier to run water up here than it will be to run it from Baby Elephant Lake. So that's kind of nice. All right, so we've got this on the go here now. Yeah, you can see little bits of iron on this line. Not much. But what we can do now is we'll pop one of these right here, one of these right here, and then we'll get something going right here where we go boop, boop, up there, boop, 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 and up here we need it to be sort of a mirror image of that. There we go. So now we can have this guy right here hang a left, and then we'll do a lane balance on it. This guy here can go out, hang a left. There we go. And I'll actually just put that right into there. They're just going to feed the same one. And then this guy's already being fed twice here, so, well, doesn't really matter. This is the only iron setup that we have down here anyway. Gun turret damage doesn't matter at all. Lasers, yeah, I might as well get lasers. I'm running out of stuff that I can do without getting either blue or military science. I should probably get military science so I can get some grenade upgrades, because those will be very useful even without biters. Even without biters chilling out. So I'm gonna hop over this, and then I'm going to do another one of these priority splits right here, I think, where I'm going to go boop, boop, and then there. I'm going to join onto that line in 2 places. So now I'll pop in something right there. That will start. Oh, no, I'm an idiot. All right. Rip this thing up because I forgot to actually leave room for the output. There we go. So now we can start doing this, and we can get a second line of guys up here. That will start that line flowing. Once that line starts flowing, we'll start getting more copper down here. So now we need to actually start using this copper. We've got 1 line of copper going there, but we're going to want to get another line of copper. Oh, we need to set up this whole array on this side. So let's start there. Almost got all these red inserters, long-handed inserters going here. There we go. Put down some lights here. I don't know why that was there. It's not actually covered by a power pole. Oh, we're all out of lamps. Alright. Well, the sun's rising anyway. It's fine for now. We'll go pick up more lamps at some point. I don't think I've actually hooked them up in the mall yet. That's something I need to actually get going in the mall. I need to go that frequently here. Probably will need some extras down here at the end. Yeah, I'll need an extra one here. Alright. I was wrong. Alright. Get these in here, covering all these. And on this one right here. Oop. There we go. So now we gotta get a copper line down here. I'm reluctant to split this copper line because I'm not sure that there's going to be enough copper to feed 2 full columns, but we're going to try it. If it turns out to not be enough, then I'll hook up a new copper line and we will get that going. Oh, well, yeah, might as well get some gun turret damage, whatever. Alright, so that'll get those running, which will in turn allow these to start running. That will start using up more of this iron here, which will get the iron line moving again, which should get things moving up north. And we've got a line of green circuits. And it won't get the iron line moving much, but it will get it moving a little bit. Means this will start moving a little bit. That's the wrong one anyway. Doesn't matter. Alright. Well, now we need to actually do something with these green circuits. It's great that we have some more green circuits. We're going to need a lot more. I'm going to need to actually hook up this whole setup here as well. But first we need to actually do something with them. And so I think what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to come over here and actually figure out where I'm going to produce plastic. And for plastic, I'm going to need coal. So I think I might tap this coal patch down here, bring it up north, and then we can produce plastic and then bring that on over. Whatever, let's start getting some bullet damage or whatever. Because my petroleum, my oil setup right now is right over here. We have another oil patch that we'll probably tap at some point here. So what I can do is I can pipe my petroleum over this way. I can bring up coal from up here, and then I can do my plastic production somewhere right around here. Yeah, here's the second oil patch. I'm gonna need a lot more grenades, I think. I need to get military seconds going, is what I need, so that I can increase my grenade damage, and then I can destroy trees with one shot. grenades. A few other things, maybe. How are we doing on... Yeah, we're all backed up on petroleum. Lubricant's not actually full, but yeah, we're backed up on petroleum, so... Actually, we're not quite backed up on petroleum. We're not backed up on anything. Yeah, we only have the 3 oil refineries, so that's real. It's gonna be real slow going. But that's fine. That's fine. How are we doing on power? We're still okay on power. Once I get sulfuric acid created, I want to start tapping this guy up here as well. That's going to prove very, very useful. When I do that, I'll probably rip up my whole starter base setup and then just focus on this area being for mining out this uranium and possibly setting up the Covarex process to enrich some uranium for us. Oh, I forgot to grab grenades on the way by. I'll grab some right now. Grab those. Alright, so what are we gonna need? What are we gonna need? What are we gonna need? Plastic is made in chem plants, so I'm gonna need some chem plants. I dropped a bunch off over here last night. Grab 20 of those. That should be plenty for now. Well, I'll grab... no, I don't need more right now. I don't need more pump jacks. I'll probably need more pipes of both kinds. So I'll grab both of these. Lamps. Oh, I do have lamps. Good. Grab a stack of lamps. Anything else that I need? I'll grab another... Whoa, that's a lot. I have 48 more radars. So. Probably ditch a few of these things over here. This stuff that I'm not really going to use for the time being, like yellow belts and yellow splitters and so on. Make myself a little bit of space. So yellow belts can come over here. Yellow splitters can come over here. Oh, I have more yellow belts right down here. Yellow undergrounds. Move up here. Through the trees, into the woods, into the woods, into the woods, then out of the woods, and home before dark. Alright. Let's clear away this. Here we go. So, now we can get some coal being mined over here. I think that there for now will be more than enough coal. Because plastic doesn't, I mean, it needs a fair bit of coal, but we're not going to have that much plastic production right off the bat here, so that ought to do. Oh, geez, I forgot to grab more belts. Well then, back to the mall. Now, something else we're going to need to get going at some point, too, is concrete. Because we need concrete for the nuclear plant, nuclear reactor. A lot of concrete. And I'm also going to want concrete just to pave the world. Because it makes it faster to get around. So, at some point I'm going to need to set that up as well. That needs stone, bricks, and iron ore and water. So I think maybe... Let's see, I could grab sort of this stone right here, water from over here, and then iron ore from either this patch or this little patch up here. And I could set up a concrete producing area, and then just bring it in by train, drop it off over at the mall. I think that's probably a decent way to go. But I'm gonna work on getting the bots first, because I feel like once I have bots, a lot of these, especially these train setups, will be a lot easier, because building train stops by hand, I'm okay with building a couple by hand, but once we get to the point where we're building sort of train stops all over the map, it's going to be a bit much, I think. Up here. Pop a single splitter on there. As a balancer, I'm still going to bring in the 2 full lines so we can get full throughput, but just want to balance these out as much as possible. a little bit. All right. Got that going. Bring one more across, then we've got to get some power down here to power up these coal miners. And then after I've got the coal miners powered up, then we can actually start hooking up some plastic. And then from there, this is pretty far, well no, it's not that far from our green circuit. So I'll probably belt the plastic over to make red circuits. But then once I've made the red circuits, then I think I'm going to set up my first train stop and have a train that collects the red circuits, maybe the green circuits, some excess green circuits as well, and then brings them up to this area up here. I'll have a train stop up here somewhere that drops a lot of those goods off, and then we can use it up here to be making blue science, military science, although I don't really need a lot of chips for military science, and also do some bot production right up here. And then once we have bots, then that will basically be the end of this base right here. Not the end, but I mean, I'll basically just be using it for the mall. I won't be extending the bus any further to build out to purple and yellow science or the rocket parts. I'm going to start making those at outposts, which we will train our way to. So, now, we want to have some plastic. So, do I have a good... I think I have a good mid-game plastic creation blueprint. Do I? Maybe not. Could be the fact that oh, maybe I do. There we go. So there's a basic plastic production blueprint. So let's, whoops. So let's grab that. We'll go basic, yeah, here we go. Basic plastic production. So this basically goes somewhere like right here. We'll set up our plastic production right over here, I think. So, okay, first of all, let's get some of these straggler trees out of the way. Something managed to escape my wrath. So, yeah, grab that, and we'll get one going that way, and then we'll hook it up this way, and so we'll reverse the direction of this belt so that our coal is all coming in from the one side. And then this is our output line right over here. We get one line of plastic for now. We're going to expand this significantly. I think actually we'll probably double this whole thing right off the bat. That. Nope, that's not gonna work. Let's get ourselves a new deconstruction planner because those are too close together. Okay. Yeah, no, we don't want to undeconstruct. There we go. We'll sort those out. All right, so we want to have one more space. There we go. I want to have them in lots of two. Yeah, there we go. That's better. That's better. So yeah, right off the bat, we're going to start out with this many of these. I don't know that we're going to have enough petroleum to actually keep them all running because we don't have a lot of oil refinement going on. Ah, and I'm out of belts again. Bloody hell. Well, while I'm here, I might as well use up the last of my grenades too, because I'm going to be running my plastic lines past this sector oil field. Later on, we'll probably tap that and have to join the crude that we're already accruing. That's going to be after we set up scrap our way up to level 3 assemblers. Then we'll be able to make some level 3 assemblers, get those, get some of those level 3 assemblers making oil refineries, put down a bunch more oil refineries, and scale up our oil consumption very, very quickly. Once we do that, then we'll also be able to start tapping some of these, making use of that crude, and then we can start deciding if we're going to go with a more centralized oil smelting, where we have a very large oil operation somewhere on the map, where we ship all of our crude and have it all taken care of in one place, or if we want to have smaller sort of bespoke oil setups where we have one oil patch that we tap and immediately do all of the advanced oil processing to turn it into petroleum and then use it up for things like plastic and sulfuric acid, and then have another totally separate oil patch where we grab all the heavy oil and turn it into lubricant and ship that in, train that into where we need it, and then have another one where we take all of the oil and turn it into light oil and make rocket fuel out of it to go to our rocket. I kind of like that approach, but it means a lot of traveling around the map. So we're definitely going to want some trains and some exoskeleton legs in our on our character here to get around faster and so on. Can I make some space here? Let's trash this deconstruction planner and grab another 100 transport belts from that. Look at this lab. I'm going to go put this lab down in our little array up here. Later on, I'll need to add one more because I won't have an even number, but for the time being, I'm going to have that guy right there, and he can receive that way, and we'll get him going as well. Makes a little bit more space. Grab another 100. Take that out of one of my books? I did, I think. I took that out of this book here. That should stay in there. Another 100 of those. Probably get rid of some of this stuff here too. Come right here. Drop that there. There's our iron stick production. Iron stick. We can drop those right in there. Yeah, okay, grab some more belt. Before I leave, just so I have lots of belt to work with. Alright. Back to plastic. This is not our Plasticville setup that I had talked about before. There's a spot over there with coal and oil right next to each other that'll be perfect for a plastic setup later on, something that is dedicated to plastic. But for now, I just want to bootstrap us getting up to blue science and getting bots. We need the robots. Stuck in the trees, stuck in the trees. I need to make a walking path through these trees somewhere. Won't worry about that right now, though. Alright, let's grab our chem plants. Oops. These guys right here. guys right here, these guys right here, these guys right here. Hook these up. These just take petroleum. We don't need water for making plastic, so it is a lot easier to put these guys side by side as opposed to some of the other oil processes where you need two separate inputs. You can't actually place them side by side because then the pipes will join and you have problems. This and that. All right, so we'll get these guys in place. Something that this blueprint doesn't have are power poles. Just realizing now, it wouldn't work very well if I had bots building it for me. I'd have this whole array set up and nothing would be powered. That's okay. We'll get this set up first. So now this guy I want to make plastic. Right. So now we're going to copy that, paste this all the way along here, all the way along here, and then we will get power poles here, 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 here. Now we want to string power in. Bring it this way. That should all be powered now. Yep, perfect. And now we will pull off of this guy right here. Get the petroleum going. So put a little cross junction in here. Is that right? End up there. Yeah. There you go. Those guys are going. And there you go. So now we got to bring our coal in. Oh, which means we got to get power down to our coal mining operation. So okay, so we've got all of that coal coming on in here now. I may actually need to add more coal miners. I thought that would be plenty, but it's actually looking pretty sparse here on the line. I know in the early going, this is where I was still hooking up the power, but yeah, I might need a bit more. Anyway, won't worry about that right at this moment. I'm going to carry these guys right up north. There's one side hooked up. Weird little missing power cable there. It's a certain zoom level, it disappears right there. That's interesting. Anyway. So, this is the beginnings of our plastic production. We're gonna hang to the south here a little bit, just to miss this hatch right here. Now here we are, back near our green circuit production. So, let me clear out some of these trees, because our green circuits are coming out. We should actually reverse our green circuits. Coming out the wrong way. Better thinking of this one. Our red circuits down here. This, ditch that, and turn the whole thing around. Oops. So now down here, or over here probably, we can set up our red circuit production. So first of all, pretty sure I have, yeah, here's some basic red circuits. I think this ratio is wrong, though. I seem to remember working that out later in my last game and realizing, yeah, that ratio is totally messed up. So every 6 seconds, I need, you know what, the internet has done this for me. Factorio ratio calculator. Is this the one that I really like? Yeah, this is a good one. All right, so I'm gonna grab this, say I wanna make one red circuit every second or every time unit or whatever. Time unit, seconds, hours, yeah. Wait, no, but that's taking into account the rate of production of the blue assemblers, and I don't really care about that. I just want one per time unit, not one per second. All right, I'm gonna have to do the math myself. Math. Oh. Okay, so every 6 seconds, I need 2 electronic circuits. I don't need to worry about that, or plastic bars. So it's 4 copper cables is the ratio that I need to figure out. So I need 4 copper cables every 6 seconds. And copper cable, I get 2 every half a second, which means I get 4 every second. And I need 4 here. Okay, so one of these can serve as 6. Yeah, so that was the problem with my old blueprint. That's actually relatively easy. Yeah, I had 2 copper cables servicing 6, and the truth is it should be able to do service 1 every 6 seconds. We also need, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. So we also need to supply 2 electronic circuits and 2 plastic bars every 6 seconds. So if I've got 6 of these producing, then that means I need 12 electronic circuits and 12 plastic bars every 6 seconds. Or 2 of each per second. So I think if I put those on half of a line each, so I have one line that is for electronic circuits and plastic bars, and then a second line that is just for copper cable, then I think that will actually do just fine. Oh, okay. Yeah, do some research. That's fine. Okay. So, how do I want to set these up? Do I want to have them pointing north, or do I want to have them pointing south? I think I want to have them pointing south. So then I can take them out, and then I can do a train stop way over here somewhere, probably just north of this little copper patch in this clearing over here. I'll do a train stop. I'll belt everything over to that, pop it on the train, drive it up north. So, let's get a red circuit assembly going. I'll leave some space here just in case I end up wanting to extend these green circuit arrays over westward. So I'm going to go this, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is our copper cable. This is our red circuit. Like that. So now I want to have copper coming down here. Yeah, see, this one line of copper is not going to cut it for also feeding red circuits. So, is there a way I can do direct insertion? I could do one of those little star patterns that I've seen some people do. I don't think that... Yeah, because if I did something like this, where I had copper cable... There, there. But then the trick is, how do I get all of the red circuits, all the stuff in that the red circuits need, and all the stuff out from the red circuit, how about red circuits out? So then if I had, a belt that came in like this. Something like that, but then I gotta get all of them out of there, so. Take a look at what some other smart people on the internet have done. Yeah, no, I don't think I'm gonna go with this setup here. It's it hurts my brain too much. So So instead what I'm going to have is I'm going to have copper coming in here, and then that's going to put out onto a belt like here. And I'm going to have a second belt that's going to have plastic and green circuits. I'm going to have all the wires right here, and then all the red circuits will come out something like that. So yeah, I'm going to need some copper down here. Just to get this bootstrapped, I'm actually just going to go ahead and steal one of these lines of copper. It's really not going to work long term, but for now it will do okay. Alright, and then here we're going to want something like that. Oops. Okay, and so now I can rebuild this whole thing on the other side as well, I think. Oops, wrong one. Alright, so I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hook up some military science. We have red circuits flowing down there. I'm going to set up a train station down there soon, but I kind of want to get military science up and running. So, what we're going to need for military science is slide right on up here. We're going to do it a little past the labs on this side. So, let's clear away some of this. Military science takes piercing rounds, grenades, and gun turrets. We need one of those every 10 seconds for 2 military science packs. So if we have 10 of these assemblers going, then we will be getting 20, or we will be getting 2 military science per second, which matches the ratios that we're going with for these guys down here. So we want to have 10 of those running, which means we need 10 piercing rounds every 10 seconds, 10 grenades every 10 seconds, and 10 gun turrets every 10 seconds, or 1 per second of each of those things. So let's start from the top. First of all, we need the piercing rounds up and running. So to get piercing rounds, we need to build firearm magazines and then turn those into piercing rounds. So piercing rounds take 1 firearm magazine, 1 steel plate, and 5 copper plates, and it takes 3 seconds to make. So we need 3 piercing round magazine setups, and to feed those, we're going to need 3 firearm magazines every 3 seconds. Firearm magazine takes 1 second to make 1, so we'll only need 1 machine for that. So let's grab this. We're going to leave some space in here. Here's our firearm magazines. Here's our piercing rounds. Firearm magazines, piercing rounds. Good. So now this needs iron. So we're going to come on down here, down to our bus. I think we've taken off of all 3 lines on here, so they should be relatively evenly used. All the same, I should probably put a balancer on here. I don't know if I have a 3x3 balancer kicking around. Really what I should do is take do a 3 to 2, so put on a 3x3 balancer, but then only take off 2 of them, because we're not going to have a lot of iron right here left at this stage of the game. So let's take a look for factorial balancers. Pop over to the wiki, and we'll take a look at 3 belts to X belts. Let's expand that, and we'll do 3 to 2. Throughput can go down to 75%. I think that's somewhat inevitable for any of these sort of weird non-power of 2 balancers. So that's okay. We'll live with that. So it looks something like this and this. And then we'll want to have another one right here. And we'll want to have one of these right here with a space in between. And then this guy loops around right here And then this guy hangs a hard left, and then another hard left, and then this way, and a hard right. And there's a balancer right there. It goes right here. And that leaves us with 2 lanes. Probably should have mirrored this whole thing to have it stick to this side, but that's okay. So now we have our 2 lanes of the bus. And so we want to have 1 line of iron coming in this way. Those put out onto a belt, and then we want to have another belt running right here and an output belt running right here. So we'll grab these right here, we'll grab these right here. Oh no, those need to be outputs. And then we need to grab copper and steel, I think is what's needed for these. What do we need? 5 copper plates and 1 steel plate. Actually, what I might want to do then is have 1 full line of copper coming in and have the steel actually coming in and going on the inside of this lane. That's probably the best way to go. So, what was I going to make my steel part of the bus? Here's my green circuit, so I was going to make steel on this side in here somewhere. I also had something else coming over. Oh yeah, I was gonna have steel on the rightmost 2 lanes of this guy over here. That would be like here. These are my steel lanes right here. So what I can do is I can grab 2 of these lanes, bring them right on over here. Oops. So, what we're going to do is have steel come right on up here. And have back up by 1. And that's going to come on that side of the belt. And then what I can do is bring this copper bus right on up here, fake bus, because we don't really have enough copper on this line to service all 4 belts as of yet. I'll get there eventually. It's just gonna take some time and probably some bots. probably some trains to bring in copper ore, because I don't know if I'm going to have enough copper ore coming in to deal with all this, but there we go. Now, where am I taking off of? I'm taking off of the first belt here, the second belt here, the third belt here. I don't think I'm taking off of the fourth belt at all, so I'm going to go ahead and take off of the fourth belt here. All out of undergrounds. Time to go pick up more. Some more of these fast splitters as well. Oh, I need some regular belts too. Grab a lunch. Alright. Now we got lots of those. So, I'm gonna go here, 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 here. There we go. Now we can bring some power up here. There we are. So now we've got some armor-piercing bullet rounds coming out here. So, next thing we need for military science is grenades. Oh, so for grenades, we're going to need some coal. So, we'll probably want to put some coal on the bus. Where's the best place to get some coal for the bus from? I mean, we could keep taking it from Coley the fish, but I'm afraid we might need more of that. I guess right here where we're doing the grenades, we could take away this grenade assembly, tap a bit more of this coal from Coley's tail here, and then just run it straight across and join it on to the bus, you know, one of these two lanes over by, I think what I was going to do was do this one for stone, and I'll do this one for coal right along here. And so then I can run the coal right up here, pull it off the bus right here, because I won't need a lot of coal on the bus, really. I think that'll do fine. So pick up these guys first. This guy next. I don't have any space in my inventory anymore. Oh boy. There's another thing, another reason it'll be great to get bots at some point, because then I can just put stuff in my trash slots and they'll just carry it all away for me. Put it in a storage chest somewhere and bring it back to me when I ask for it later. Let's take some of these steel furnaces out of the inventory until we set up another big smelting array. We're not going to need a lot of these, and that's going to be a little while from now, probably a couple hours. And right here, I can toss some of that in. And yeah. I'll come over here. Toss some of that in there. Gives me more space. Good. Good, good, good. So I'll pick up this assembly here. I'll set up something to swipe a few grenades. I'll make more grenades than I need up north, and then I can swipe those. All right, so we're gonna want more coal production if it's going to be on the bus. Wrong buttons, wrong buttons. Okay, first of all, I need to, ow. Clear away some of these trees. How am I doing on power, by the way? Yeah, we're still doing okay. All right. And I put these right back to back, which is no good. Alright, so I have to clean these up. There we go. Now we've got coal on the bus. So now we're going to set up our little grenade array right up here. And so, again, we need 1 grenade per second is what we need to average. And our grenades need 5 iron plates and 10 coal every 8 seconds. So if we want 1 grenade per second, we're going to need 8 assemblers producing grenades. But I'm going to want some extras, so I'm probably going to make 9. So I think what I'm going to do is set this up right around here. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm going to pop them right onto this same belt as the armor-piercing rounds. This coming in this way. We need 10 coal, so we want the coal to be on the inner line so that we can get that with the fast inserters. We'll have the iron on the outer line, so we can use long-handed inserters, which are a little bit slower for those. So we'll bring that across. Across here. That lines up, yeah, I think so. Oh, this is one too far over though. There we go. Right along here. There we go. So now, both of these guys come right on up here, and we'll line this fellow up. There we go. That gives us our iron. So now, what I'm going to want is I'm going to want a steel chest right over here, because I know this last one doesn't need to be there for those purposes. And I want it to be sort of the lower priority versus these guys. So I'm going to go ahead and go boop. Boop, 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 boop. Drop these out on this line right here. I'll grab some of these. And on the inside right there. Not perfectly symmetrical, but hey. we go. Working away. Working away. Oh. Take that guy off. Limit this to 3 stacks. Alright, so now we have those 2 things. So now we just need gun turrets, I think, for our military science. Yep, gun turrets. And gun turrets need iron gear wheels, copper plates, and iron plates. And we need 8, so if we want 1 per second, we're going to want 8 assemblers. To feed 8 assemblers, 10 iron gear wheels, which means we need 10 iron gear wheels per second. We get 2 per second per assembler. So we're going to want 5 iron gear wheel assemblers, and then we're bringing copper and iron. So direct insertion would actually be ideal for this, but 5 assemblers feeding into 8. If I did something like... Oops. Like this, and then I was going direct feed. Each of these can feed to 2, right? Yeah. Oh, but these 2 down at the end are each only being fed by 1. Yeah, direct insertion doesn't really work here. So I'm just going to go with 5 gear assemblers. Sort of a very boring setup. So it's going to be something like... Need a little bit of space here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 for good measure. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where they're going to come out, so I need 1 more space, yeah. And then I'm going to need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now these guys. So we're going to have copper, we're going to have the gear wheels, we're going to have some iron, and we're going to have an output belt. And this iron line comes across here, and another iron line comes across right here. Turret. And I'm out of inserters. Okay. Let's go shopping. guess I could use some more belts too, but I need the inserters first. First and foremost. And I'll fill up the rest of my inventory on transport belts. Good. Need to expand that inventory of mine. I need some power armor as well. Alright, let's grab this. Drop that in there. Drop these in here. And now, we gotta hook up some goods. All right, now we have gun turrets. So, next thing's next. Time to get our military science up and running. So basically what we've got here is we've got some of these ready to go. We've got some of these ready to go. And so now we want to have 10 of these. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I extended these way too far. They don't need to go that far. All right. So now we can go here, 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 here. Then, here, 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 and here. And next up, we're going to place some belt for output right here. This is going to make military science. Going to output onto this belt. All right, now we can start some military research. I think the first thing I want is grenade damage 1. Get those grenades ripping through trees a little bit faster. Need to get 4 more labs, I think. But I won't worry about that right now. So there we have it. We have military science automated. Oh, and look at our iron. Now that we're using this much iron, we are running sorely low on iron. We can move the iron along a little quicker by turning more of this back into, turning more of this into red, but ultimately that's not going to be a viable long-term solution. The problem is we just don't have enough on the line. So I think that's going to have to be the next thing we deal with, but I think that's going to be after I take a little break to probably go for a little walk and have some lunch. We're closing in on 11 o'clock in the morning, so I have been streaming for 2 hours so far. Another 7 or 8 hours to go today. Let me just get a couple of these things. splitting off a little faster. Oh, there we go. We'll get grenade damage 2. By the time we go clearing more trees, we should be at the point where 1 grenade will do for its entire radius of trees. Alright, we need more belts to continue upgrading this iron array. First of all, let's go and drop off lots and lots of yellow belts. Upgrade that. Okay. Might as well go for grenade damage 3. This will be probably a little bit of overkill for trees, but that's fine. Grab a bunch of transport belts. In here, we're gonna place these. In here, we're gonna place these. And grab some of those. Grab some more of these. Off here. Some of these off. All right. And we continue. This is where having upgrade planner would be really nice. Alright, so now the fundamental problem is we don't have enough iron ore. So I'm going to tap more of this. It's probably, this little patch here is probably still not going to be enough. I'm also going to tap this little patch up here. That'll be mined out very quickly, but some miners here that we can recycle. First thing we want are our belts to be as fully compressed as we can get them to be. That's pretty well compressed right there at the moment. That'll flow into this one, which should get this one more compressed. That one's flowing into that one. So now that's a little bit more flow, but fundamentally we just still need a whole lot more iron. We need to get these two going, which means we need another source of iron. Now, I mean, I could tap this one, but I kind of wanted to save that to go to steel because it's close by there anyway. Let's take a look here. I could get explosives. We need the explosives for the rocket, right? Yeah. So I think I'll go with, yeah, I'll go with explosives for now. I could take some of this, but I feel like that might be needed later on for the green circuit. So I feel like it is time to set up a train. We need to set up a train stop right here to the south of our smelting array, where we can bring in ore. Usually I like to do my smelting on site because ore is not as dense as plates, but I think that in this case, because we have so much space here for more smelters to be operating, I think bringing in some ore will be just fine. So if we set up a train station right down here, we'll clear some of these trees, we'll set up a train station that's going to unload ore. And we can pipe that ore into these two smelteries and maybe top up this one over here on the left as well. And then, yeah, then we can, I might be able to do a little bit of compressing over here too. I might see about doing some of that. But yeah, in general, I think that we're looking pretty good here. Actually, no, I'm going to go fix this right now. But I am going to do the train thing. And we'll probably go and... here we go. We'll probably go and tap either this iron ore patch or possibly... Oops. That's all done that. Alright, let's get energy shield equipment. I don't need laser turrets, ever. I'll get... energy shields. Either this one or this one, I think. This one might be the better one because it's so big. So we can go tap that. Whoops. We can go tap that. Get all the ore put onto a train over here. And we'll run the train up here, probably come in here. We'll have like a main train line that heads out this way. Heads across this way, I mean. And then we'll have our train station right here that unloads the ore. So main line right here, maybe another main line heading down this way. Station right here to load up ore. We may eventually want to load up coal there as well. And then we'll just have it going on a simple loop to bring us some ore to get this going. Then I'll probably want to up our copper production as well, because our copper supply is beginning to look a little anemic as well. But that I'll just tap more of this for. We have a couple of miners that are already tapped out here. So I think the right thing to do here is just set up lots more mining right here, get the copper going. But right now I'm actually going to come down here and fix this because I'm not actually getting the most out of this particular setup. I think the better way to go would be to actually have this going right there and have this guy right here popping across to right here and joining onto this line. I think this way we'll balance the two of them out right here. It's not perfect, but it will do a little better than it was doing before, I think. At least we'll have some of these moving. I might also should give us a little bit more throughput, should get a little bit better compression right there. I think I'll do a lane balancer right here as well, because it's very one-sided coming in off of here. Oops. Okay, I think that is running about as well as it's going to run, given this amount of iron ore right here. So, and that's looking slightly better than it was before. Still very sparse. We definitely need to hook up these two as well, get this flowing a whole lot better. But things are looking slightly better than before. We will pick this up after I have a break and some lunch. So, save game, and we'll leave it there. Talk to everybody in a little while.